Hey there. Today we're going to be making a clarified milk punch that's going to taste like a zagnut bar. At least that's the idea. So to start, we're going to have to strain off some peanut butter infused whiskey, or rather, whiskey infused with peanut butter. Whatever way you want to look at it. But we got that hanging out over here. We're going to run through some cheesecloth. Alright, so we got cheesecloth lining a fine mesh strainer. And this is some Buffalo Trace bourbon that's been hanging out in this shallow pan with an entire jar of Justin's creamy peanut butter. Alright. So we got it straining. One little tip or trick when I'm straining stuff that's being a little challenging is you can pick up your cheesecloth bag and glove up real quick. So now I've got some gloves on. We can squeeze this. We want to make sure we squeeze it over the strainer. We're just trying to get all that liquid out. So we've got our Rum Haven coconut rum. It's similar to Malibu, but instead of having that like sunscreen kind of flavor, it's actually made with coconut water, so it has a little bit more of a coconut flavor. Here's the end product of our peanut butter bourbon infusion. We lost a lot. I should have probably used a lot less peanut butter, but that's okay. We're just experimenting. Now, what I want to do in order to make a clarified milk punch is basically take a cocktail. So first I'll derive a cocktail recipe with this, and then we're going to scale it up, and then take that cocktail mixture that's scaled up and throw it into some room temperature milk. Let that milk curdle, and then we'll start straining it. And that should be that. Alrighty, so I did a little back of the envelope calculations on what a basic recipe is going to look like for this. So, and we scaled it up times 8 because that's going to use the total volume of our 12 ounces of peanut butter infused bourbon. So there is peanut butter bourbon. Now we have to add 4 ounces of coconut rum. Alright, now I've got to make some simple syrup and juice some lemons, because we're going to need some simple syrup and some lemon juice. So we're just going to take equal parts sugar and water to make a rich syrup. We could do 2 to 1. Maybe we'll do that and see how it goes. Now the thing about making a rich syrup is a lot of times it looks like you've added not enough water to the sugar. But you just got to be patient with it. As it heats up, it'll turn into a syrup pretty quickly. Especially like we've got this on a high heat. I'll bring it down after it gets up to temp. It's a little bit shy of 8 ounces, but I'm not really that worried about it. It's close enough. Because this recipe is going to take place at room temperature, we can just put it together with the rest of our cocktail. So we're going to be adding it to warm milk to allow the chemical reaction to take place anyway. So I need to transfer our cocktail over to a bigger vessel so we can pour it in. There's our simple syrup. Also, I need this measuring cup for the lemon juice. And then here's our peanut butter coconut rum mixture. Now, one of the cool things about milk washing is that it strains impurities when the curds are formed in the milk. So what I'm hoping is it will clarify this, that's the general idea, and that'll take some of the color of this, peanut buttery color out of there. But we're gonna find out. So we gotta cut these lemons because we want to use fresh lemon juice in order to make sure that we're maximizing the enzymatic effect of the curdling that is going to take place. So we need about 6 ounces of citrus juice. So Sherry's cut them. She's now going to juice them, hopefully. So we're going to take our milk, super high quality local cow's milk. In fact, it already had some curds in it, so that's exciting. It shouldn't take much encouragement. We're going to warm that up slightly. We don't want it to be boiling, but the hotter it is, the better it's going to mix in with our cocktail. Now, from what I've read, is it works better if you add the cocktail to the milk. You don't have to heat the milk, but it does help encourage it. This milk's been out warming for a little bit anyway, so it shouldn't take too awful long. And you want to add 37.5% of the milk in volume ratio to the cocktail. So that's our general idea. This shouldn't take too long to warm up. Then what we're going to do is throw the cocktail right in there. And basically what's going to end up happening is it'll start curdling, and then we can start filtering it all immediately. Some recipes call for you to wait, but it doesn't actually make that much difference if you wait for it to curdle and form up, or if you just start filtering it immediately. It's going to take a while to filter. So, there you go. Milk's throwing off a little bit of steam, so we're going to throw it in the bowl and then mix it up. Cool, it's curdling up immediately. That's what we want. Now I want to wait just a little bit before we throw it through the filter to strain. From what I read, you can do it immediately. But yeah, that's pretty cool. If you look down here, you can already see a kind of layer of separation where the curdles are forming. This, the process of curdling is a chemical action, and in these curds forming, what it's doing is drawing tannins and other impurities and items out of our cocktail, so it's fining it. And that's looking pretty good. I think that we're ready to go and dump this so that it strains. We want to make sure we dump this pretty gently. All right, we'll let that strain a little bit before we add any more. Hey, so it's been a minute since we made the old zagnut milk punch. But what we got here is the zagnut milk punch a couple of weeks out. and we're gonna drink it because clarified milk punches was one way that you would preserve your drink in order to have it for later. So just to remind y'all, we got a little peanut butter whiskey, coconut rum, lemon juice, simple syrup, and then I hit that with some milk and let it curdle to turn it into a milk punch. So this is our clarified milk punch, looking pretty good. And then we're gonna pour it up in this here glass with some ice. Deedly doodly do. Oh, we should do this ASMR style.
I'm really excited to taste the milk punch.
I'm super excited to see how it's aged.
All right, let me.
So we're gonna give this a taste. The cats may have knocked out the lighting, but that's okay. So there we are. It's a clarified zagnut milk punch. Wow, that's really good.
Ooh, it's still good. I mean, it's still good.
So even a couple of weeks later, the peanut butter